Welcome everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the Timeless Marathon. My name is Joaish, and with me as well I have Torinn as our on our commentary as well. And welcome, like I said, welcome to day 2 of the Timeless Marathon, where we will be beginning the child timeline games for the day, where we will first be starting off with Majora's Mask 3D, and then later on today we'll also have Twilight Princess HD, and we will also have Four Swords Adventures. So to start us off for today, we will be doing Majora's Mask 3D, all masks. And to start us off, I'll give us a countdown if we're ready for the timer.
All right, yeah.
All right. So on go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So a lot of things to cover about this run. First of all, you might notice we are actually watching live footage of an actual 3DS right here. You might also notice a gameplay feed right here on the bottom right corner as well. So this is a bit of a personal thing in terms of my setup for 3DS capture specifically. So I do have a 3DS capture card, but as you can see, the screen is a little bit glitchy. It's a little hard to see right now, but you could kind of see with it. Yeah, you can kind of see with like the colors there. It's been glitchy for a little while now, so I've been doing something that's kind of in the middle to where we can see the actual screen, but you can also see what the actual capture card looks like. But the good news is that I can still pull clean audio from the 3DS. So that is why we're doing this particular setup here. But more on the actual speed run. If you have not watched a Majora's Mask 3D run, you are definitely in for a treat. If you're familiar any with speedruns of the original Majora's Mask, you're still in for a ride, because this is a very, very different run. You may see some things that are like kind of similar, but otherwise it is a very different run. I mean, even down to doing the intro here. Couple other preliminary things to go through. This is all masks, so we will be getting every mask in the game, including going all the way up to the Fierce Deity mask, and we will do that by whatever means necessary. And I'm also playing on the Japanese release of the game. It doesn't really matter what language is being played on. Japanese is the fastest, but it's only fastest by like a few seconds, and even then, it's only fastest on specific cutscenes. And I believe the specific cutscenes that we watch, the specific cutscenes that Japanese is fastest on, we don't actually watch in this run, so I don't even think language really matters for this game. However, this is actually a Japanese 3DS, so hence we get the Japanese version. So it actually just works out all around. So just like in the original MM, we will have to go through first cycle and do a bunch of stuff. However, like I said, there are actually going to be some differences, even from the original. So even though there is a bit of an auto-scroller in some cases for the intro, we will be doing some things different compared to the original. And especially after first cycle, we're going on a completely different path than what you would expect from a run of the original game, in really just about any category. Because there are some glitches that are patched in this version from the original, but there's also some brand new glitches. Some glitches that are not even in the original, or that are in the original and are just not as useful. There we get our first little bit of movement there. So yeah, so at least for the introduction, we are going to be going through a lot of cutscenes here. But I'll try to go over like, as many things as I can early on, but also without spoiling some things ahead. So we'll go through all this, and we'll be turned into a Deku like normal. So one thing about Deku, if you're unfamiliar with the 3DS remake of the game, they nerfed Deku by a decent bit, but they mainly nerfed Deku's speed. So Deku moves a little bit slower on the 3DS version by comparison. However, we can still move pretty fast by backwalking, and just like in the original 64 games, running backwards makes you move a little bit faster than just walking or rolling normally.
So backwards running still does apply.
Yes, backwards running still does apply. We will be doing it fairly often. Now, I will say there are going to be some movement options that we get later on that will be better than backwalking. But we will still use backwalking here and there. We'll definitely be using a lot of backwalking for these earlier portions. But if you're familiar with Hesses in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, those are technically patched. However, a Fess is still possible in this game, which a Fess is basically the same as a Hess, but you're going forward instead. And actually, the Fess actually works better than it does in the original in this game, which works out. However, we're actually only going to be doing that once.
So what is a Hess?
So a Hess is a hyperextended super slide. So in the 64 games, if you roll into a damage source, most commonly a bomb explosion, if you roll into that and then hold very slightly in a direction, so just holding very slightly on the control stick, then you're able to make it to where Link is shuffling, but he's maintaining his speed from the recoil. And so you're able to just keep a whole bunch of speed and just go really fast going backwards. Because there's a position on the control stick that most speedrunners call the ESS position, or the extended super slide position, which is where it got its name. But the ESS position is basically where you're holding very slightly on the control stick. So if I ever refer to anything as like holding ESS position for it, then I'm just holding very slightly on the control stick, which you will see a few times here in the run.
Could you show the bottom screen as well?
Yes. 1 second. Oh no. You can make a side hop jump there, but I was a little too far back. You can also skip that little text blurb there from Tattle if you do a spin, a good enough spin there. There we go. Do a little flower skip. You can skip certain cutscenes by continually spinning as Deku. But yeah, here is the bottom screen as well. I don't know why I'm mashing text or mashing A and B. There's no text here. Nothing going on the bottom screen at the moment. There will be some things to see on the bottom screen later on in the run.
And then at this point, we have the Happy Mask Salesman, his introduction.
Yep. So if you're familiar with runs, usually they skip this cutscene. However, we actually cannot skip this cutscene because we actually cannot pause buffer. And the only kind of pause buffering we can do is through the touchscreen, and it doesn't allow us to pause buffer frame by frame because the cutscene takes 2 frames to activate, and pause buffering frame by frame delays that process in the original. But in this game, we can't pause fast enough to be able to do that. Also in this game, there are a lot of things that get sped up by mashing B, and the Dawn of the First Day text and the subsequent ones after that are one of those things. Why? I have no idea, but but it's there.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and that's only on 3D. On the original, that doesn't apply. In fact, a lot of those cases don't apply on the original, but on 3D they do. But yeah, that's why we can't skip that cutscene. Also, I'll probably mention this again when it actually becomes relevant, but touchscreen inputs also have a 2-frame delay compared to button presses. Oops. which actually leads to a very cool setup for some things later. Or I guess some cool setups, because we actually use that fact a couple of times. So I'm actually going to go over here and talk to these two. It's actually very important I talk to them. Well, maybe not very important, but it is important I talk to them. It actually saves time to talk to them. Because of how they do the Bomber's Notebook in this game. So, in the 3DS remake, they give you the Bomber's Notebook right out of the gate when you finish first cycle. And so you get those events and such as you go along. But by me talking to them before I get the Bomber's Notebook, I'm actually able to skip some Bomber's Notebook text boxes by doing that. And you'll see why that's handy to be able to do when you actually see what the Bomber's Notebook cutscene texts are like. they take a little bit of time. Alright, so now we're advancing ourselves to the night of the third day, because we wanna try to get to midnight as fast as possible. Because getting to midnight is what's going to open up the clock tower.
And in case people didn't know, the main mechanic of Majora's Mask is that there's 3 days, and once the 3 days ends, the game ends. But you can turn back time, and there's like specific missions and stuff along the times.
Yeah, there's certain events that actually is a really good thing to bring up, especially for this category that we're doing. There are certain events that happen at certain time periods throughout the 3 days, and there's going to be times where we actually have to maintain and manage our time as we go through the run, because we actually need to be at certain places at certain times in later portions of the run. So I'm gonna go in here. We're gonna grab this fairy over here. We're gonna go in here. And conveniently in this room, which we can only get into on day 3, there are... You missing the chest? There are 100 rupees in here. Which we will need. So we'll leave out here. But yeah, the Bomber's Notebook is a pretty cool addition to how they do it in 3D. The only downside to it in this version is that it takes a little bit longer for it to go through its updates. But other than that, yeah, it's a very cool feature. Alright, so we're gonna go over here. We're gonna actually use our hard-earned money that we stole. We're going here. And we're going to do another thing where we clear another Bomber's Notebook text box by talking to her. And we're going to buy Bomb Bag. Despite Deku not being able to use Bomb Bag, we are still allowed to buy a Bomb Bag. So there are times I do... There are sometimes I do backwalks and sometimes I do spins. It kind of just depends on the situation. If I'm turning more corners and not going in a straight line, it's usually better to just do spins. I'm also going to do a safety save here for the trick we're about to do, because we are actually about to do a trick. So, in the original, if you go into East Clocktown, you can backwalk against a guard to slip past him to get out of Clocktown. However, we actually can't do that in 3D, so we actually have to do something a little bit fancier. Which is actually one of the trickier tricks in the run. But we're going to give this fairy off to the Great Fairy so that we can get magic, because magic is very important. Well, really, just it's required to beat the first cycle. Alright. So this trick coming up here, I'm going to focus on it a little bit, so I'll let you guys observe it, but then I'll explain it afterwards. I want to make sure we get through this trick, because I also have to get through it in a timely fashion to make sure we get to a certain place on time. Alright. So yeah, watch and learn. And also know that this trick coming up here is one of the many 3DS exclusive tricks. Alright, here we go. Oh, I can use bombs now? Oh man. Where'd that come from?
So right now you're pause buffering, correct?
Yes. I can use the home menu to pause buffer frame by frame. Also, I've broken the curse because most of my other marathon runs, I've struggled. I've had to either reload to save or I've had to take multiple takes on that trick. But I'm very thankful I got that first try.
Yeah.
So to explain that trick, basically, Deku cannot use bombs. However, while I'm in the air like that, if I put bombs on a different button, then they'll actually be visible on the button as if I can use them. However, I still can't actually use them, but there is one frame where I can use them when I land on ground. So you'll have that one frame that you can pull a bomb on the ground, and then after that frame, then it goes back to being unusable again. So right as I was about to touch ground, I home buffered to that frame that I needed to be able to pull out the bomb. And that allowed me to pull out the bomb. And then I used the bomb to then do a flower slide. And basically how a flower slide works is when I shield damage, it recalls me back a bit. But if I burrow into the flower while doing that recoil, if I burrow into the flower while being recoiled, I maintain that speed and stay under the ground, and that allows me to go through walls and to, in this case, go through the guard by just simply slipping under him. And so, why did we do all that? Why are we here? Well, we're here to learn the Song of Soaring because in the 3DS version, they moved the Song of Soaring right here. And we go here because we go here right now because there is a cutscene at the very beginning of Southern Swamp that's not there during first cycle, so we can skip that cutscene by doing this. And also, there's a reason why I wanted to be here before midnight. So I'm gonna fight this Oko Baba. I'm losing right now though. Wait, Joaish, better be careful there, Joaish. Oh no. What's going on? Guys, I'm losing. I'm losing to this Boko Baba. Also, I just want to point out...
Does that happen often?
You know, they're hard to fight, so, I mean, sometimes, but, like, you know, I try my best. Also, there's a cutscene playing. This cutscene is actually very important, believe it or not. Why is it important? You'll find out in a second. Other than showing us, hey, that door is open now. Alright, let's try to beat the Boko. Oh no, I died. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well, that's okay. We'll respawn back at Clocktown and be right on our merry way.
With the Song of Soaring.
Yeah, with the Song of Soaring. Now we have the Song of Soaring. We spawn back in Clocktown conveniently. We'll also do a special little twisted backflip here to get up here without having to have the Moon's Tear. So yeah, so that cutscene that shows the clock tower opening, if you die right after that cutscene without leaving the area, then you spawn back at Clocktown. It actually sets your spawn point back at Clocktown. So the whole idea is that I want to get to that area where the Song of Soaring is before midnight, so basically before that cutscene plays. So that when I get Song of Soaring, I don't have to backtrack all the way back and run back. I can just take advantage of that spawn point and make it back here in a timely fashion. And yeah, that is the biggest difference between the original and 3D in terms of stuff we do in first cycle. And I'm really happy that I got through the flower slide in one take.
In the chat, they asked, "Is this the first Zelda game that has fireworks?" I think it might actually be. There might be some in the credits of Ocarina of Time, maybe, but I'm not sure.
I don't think they have fireworks in OT. I'm trying to think, because I think if they're gonna have it anywhere, it'd be in the Lon Lon Ranch cutscene. I don't.
Yeah, that's
think
what I
they
was
do.
thinking of.
Yeah, I think this is first appearance of fireworks.
And right now, you're getting the Song of Time.
Yep. We are getting the Song of Time now. Our second song in like a span of 5 minutes.
And this is the main song that allows you to travel back in time, and that's kind of the gameplay loop of Majora's Mask.
Yes, so we use the Song of Time to be able to travel back in time to the dawn of the first day, and that allows us to traverse these 3 days however we want. Now, an important thing to note about Song of Time, in the original, that is the main way you save the game. So in the original, that's how you do a hard save, essentially, playing Song of Time. But in this game, Song of Time does not save your game. You actually only save your game through the owl statues now. Because I guess they wanted it to be a little bit more convenient in terms of where you left off. So if you are used to the original and then go to the 3DS version, don't assume that Song of Time is going to save your game, because I think a few people did when this originally came out and lost a bunch of progress because of it. Phantom Ganon's attacks, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he does have some very fireworks-like attacks.
And then Ganondorf's also, kind of.
Yeah. I guess he has a similar attack to that in OT, I suppose. I don't know if you'd consider them fireworks, but that's pretty close. Very sparky attack, I guess. Alright, so here we are. We're back at the dawn of the first day by playing Song of Time. And as if having 2 songs wasn't good enough, we're about to learn a third one. Alright, so we're gonna go through one last batch of cutscenes here, and then once these set of cutscenes are done, then it is go at that point. Because once you're done with first cycle, then the game really picks up. We will still have some, we'll obviously still have some cutscenes here and there, but we're gonna get to see a lot of crazy stuff.
I will ask, how many time cycles does it normally take? How many times do you have to play the Song of Time?
For this run, we'll only play a Song of Time 2 times more. So all in all in the run, 3 times. So we'll do 1. So counting first cycle, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cycles that we'll do. Now I will say, in a previous route, we only had 3, and I think 3 is the absolute minimum that you need to get every mask. Because you need 2 different cycles to do certain side quests, because there are certain side quests that you can't do while you're doing another one, and I'll probably touch up upon that as we see them. But you have to do at least 2 different cycles post first cycle in order to get every mask to complete those side quests. So at minimum, you can get every mask in 3 cycles. This run does an extra 4th cycle, but it's for a specific trick later on. Which some of you, I believe, saw last night, when I was finishing up my practice run. Yeah, here's another instance of mashing B to make things go faster.
Besides text, is it just the cutscene itself goes faster?
I think it's I think it's actually mainly just getting the text box to its end right here. And pressing B is the fastest way to do that. I think once it's like at the end, then it starts a counter to then end the cutscene. Or a counter to time when to end the cutscene, or when to end that scene, I guess. All right, we are about out of here. So
And now,
oh, go ahead.
oh, and now we have the Deku Mask and the Song of Healing.
Yes, we have Song of Healing and the Deku Mask now. And we also have the Bomber's Notebook, which we were talking about earlier. So anytime we get like a new event in the Bomber's Notebook, we get this kind of cutscene here. So this is the kind of cutscene we skipped by talking to a few select people. So yes, we have 1 out of 24 masks now. Alright, so we're about to approach pretty much the only, like, really mainly RNG part of the run. We have to get a bomb drop out of grass, because we need bombs for where we're going first. Do you guys have any idea what mask we're going to be getting next?
I'm not quite sure.
It might not be the one you expect. Now we can talk to the guard. Now that we have a sword and shield, the guard is like, "Oh, you can fend for yourself. You can leave town now." All right. So, hope for some. Oh my goodness! Wow, that was a very good drop.
First try, into like first bush.
Try. Alright, so here's a special trick here. Actually, here's 2 different tricks here. I can, remember that fest I was talking about before? The, super slide? I can not drop my control stick position. There we go. So there's actually 2 different tricks going on right here. So here's the fest. But you might also notice on my bottom screen, my ocarina is out. So I was able to pull Ocarina as I was falling, and it put me in the Ocarina state, but I still have control of Link. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to play the Song of Inverted Time, which is an additional song that we get with the Song of Time, and that song allows you to slow down time. However, we actually stored the song. So we actually have the song stored in the background because we did that, because we went through the loading zone.
And I'm guessing with the ocarina that like lowered the collision, and that's how you were able to climb up the wall.
No, the ocarina. The
really?
Ocarina thing was actually for something specific. So if you actually look at the clock right now, the clock is actually frozen, and if I move my control stick up and down, you can actually hear the selector. But that collision that I side hopped upward, that is a special side hop that is 3D only. That does not exist in the original. So it's a bit of a precise position, but you can use that to just side hop onto that top part there, just by the way it's made. Also, you'll notice that this text box is up while I'm moving. That text box is the prompt that's asking me if I want to slow down time, which I'm actually going to delay for a little bit longer. Because if I delay that for a bit longer, it keeps time frozen, so that I can actually make certain events in time. Make our way over here. Also, I see some Bremen Mask guesses. That is a good guess, and I do agree. I do like the Bremen Mask a lot. We will get to see the Bremen Mask in action as well later in this run.
I do like the song that the Bremen Mask plays as well.
Yes, yes, indeed. Also, we did a bomb jump there. If we get hit while standing at the edge, then we can get a big boost in speed when we get launched like that. And so we can gain a lot of distance with that. And the path is the same on that path is the same. So as long as you have it memorized, then you can make the same path every time. Okay, now you might have noticed I got the Lens of Truth. I got 50 rupees from this chest, and when the text prompt came back up, so that text prompt comes up whenever I have a text box. And so that text prompt came back up again, and that time I actually pressed yes on the text prompt. And now time is slowed down, and now time is resuming normally, but I have time slowed down now, which is a mechanic of the game itself. That is a normal mechanic. But Lens of Truth is actually required here. Not necessarily to be able to navigate up here, because I mean, obviously, if you know the ladder well enough, you could theoretically get up here just blindly. But we actually need the lens to be able to get this mask up here, because otherwise this would not, what's coming up here doesn't work unless you have Lens of Truth. But this is also convenient because we can just use lens to get up here.
And then inside here is the Goron mask.
That's right. So yes, our next mask is the Goron mask. Yes, we are already going a little bit out of order in terms of where we're going, but yes, we are getting the Goron mask, and the Goron mask is probably one of the most important masks that we'll get in this run. So if you're familiar with OG MM runs, in longer categories they use the Goron mask here and there, especially for like just general movement. However, we use Goron mask for a lot more things, because one of the main broken glitches of this game uses the Goron mask, which we will see later. I won't be able to utilize that right away, but yeah, just trust me when I say Goron mask is very broken in 3D. They also gave Goron some buffs in general on the 3D version. His attacks are faster. And yeah, he's very good. He's very good in this version. All right. So what we thinking is the next mask that is coming up?
Is that one the Bremen?
Maybe. We will see. All right. So little trick here. You here. Actually, hold on. First, I gotta get this. So when you first put on a mask, it does this cutscene right here. However, I can actually skip it for the rest of the masks if I put on a mask while wearing another mask. So I only have to watch that cutscene once of the very gruesome looking mask taking over Link cutscene. Because I can skip it for the other mask if I have another mask on already.
Someone in
Cafe
chat
mask
suggested that. Yeah,
sorry?
Cafe's mask. No, I was just gonna say, someone in chat said Cafe's mask.
Yeah, that is actually also a good guess, because that's an easy one to get in Clocktown. All right. So we do want to rescue the witch here, or at least heal her, because we actually do want something from her that's very important for that one glitch I mentioned earlier that is very important.
Besides just activating the boat ride, or related to it?
Not related to the boat ride. We're actually going to skip the boat ride. Boat ride is actually, in fact, very slow. As nice as the boat ride is, we unfortunately will not be taking a nice little cruise on the boat. Alright, make our way over here. We're gonna saves the witch. This also gives us a bottle. So by doing this, also we also get a bottle. But that's also not the only reason we do this. If we just wanted the bottle, then we wouldn't actually go through this entire process. We'd just go here once and then get the bottle. But we're also going the extra mile to heal. To heal her. I can't remember which this is.
I believe it's Kotake.
Is it Kotake? Okay. Alright.
I see a suggestion, Mask of Truth is the next one.
Mask of Truth? Okay. That is also a good guess, because that is in Southern Swamp. I do like the reasoning with Deku Stick. But now we're back in Clocktown, though. And we gave away that red potion, but we're gonna go get another one. Because we like giving red potions away. Because spoilers, we are gonna give this one away, too. I will say the Mask of Truth is a good guess, because I will spoil a little bit and say that is one of the ones we are getting soon-ish. Okay, so the same trick we did in first cycle to escape Clocktown, we're going to do here. Except it's a little bit easier because I can actually pull out a bomb as Link, so we can kind of just do it whenever now, without having to do a big fancy trick to pull out a bomb. So I'm going to do this, and then I can actually put on the mask as I go into the loading zone, so I can just already have Goron mask going into here. Kohum is the red one. Oh, okay. Okay.
I always thought it was Kotake.
Yeah, I don't think I ever really knew which one was which. I mean, I always knew their names, but I guess I never knew which one was which, or like how to tell between the two.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, the next mask is actually the Zora mask.
Knocking out the transformation masks first.
Yeah, we just get every transformation mask right from the get-go. We're already set and ready to go on that one. Now, I will grant you, I guess it is a little unexpected to just kind of go straight away and get these right off the bat, especially given where you normally get them in casual play. However, I will say that the guesses that were made so far were good guesses.
That's a good way to remember it. Komi has the letter M, which is associated with magma. That's a good way to remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I've never heard of it that way. That's cool. Alright, we also get sad cutscene here. We get to play the piano, which, as some people may know, there are certain Majora's Mask speedrunners that play the piano during this cutscene. Unfortunately, I don't know how to play the piano, nor do I have a piano in here. So, I mean, I can pretend that I'm playing the piano, and y'all wouldn't know. That could be me playing the piano right now. But I will say it's not me, but we can pretend.
That's a good question. If you could begin with any mask, which one would be most helpful for this run?
See, I want to say Goron mask, but considering we get it really early on, part of me wonders if I should say a different mask. Maybe, I feel like the Fierce Deity mask would also be an easy answer, maybe for bosses.
Yeah.
Especially since that's like the very last one we get. Trying to think of any other one that would have good utilization. Well, if by getting a mask early means we don't have to go through their cutscene or their like side quests to get them, and by doing that we save time, then I'd say either the couple's mask or the all knights mask.
Alright.
If it means we don't have to do the side quest for time's sake in the run. Yeah, I don't know. That probably would be my answer. All right, so I'm gonna equip Zora right here. Zip past his lifelike. And this version is also very infamous for the changes to the Zora swimming. So we do actually have to be careful with our magic here, because in order to go fast as Zora, we have to use magic. But we actually need some magic in this area coming up here, which is why I did that little recoil there, to save a little bit of magic while also keeping a lot of speed. We do use the bunny hood a little bit in the run. It's more so just for convenience in spots where... Okay, good, I didn't get caught. It's good for convenience in certain spots where we're Human Link and we're moving around a lot. Or we have to be Human Link and move around a lot. So we do actually use it a few times in the run.
Yeah.
But yeah. Bunny Hood would also be a good choice though. But actually, yeah, Bunny Hood would actually be a good choice for like early on stuff. Especially. Okay, so a special little trick there. If I do a jump slash as I put on a mask, then I do a like a little jump in the air, and that actually allows me to grab the ledge. And in 3D, you can do a cool thing where as you're grabbing a ledge, you can instantly like climb up the ledge when you put on a mask.
How much time does it save?
It's like a small time save. Well, the ledge thing in particular is like a small time save, but that trick in particular I just did with the with that ledge grab, that saves us from having to go through the entire basement section underwater. So that actually saves a decent amount of time to do that trick. Also, in 3D, you might notice they moved this mask to the Pirate's Fortress.
I think that's a better placement for it, because that's where it's most useful.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense why they moved it here, because you can actually like use it here. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like the most out there change, but it also like kind of makes sense why they put it there. All right, so here's another trick right here. So I'm going to be putting down a bomb. I'm also going to be holding down Ocarina. Hopefully this is the frame. I think this is the frame. No, it's not. It's frame early. It's a little hard to tell on this frame. But we're going to be doing a trick called Time Stop. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So we do a trick called Time Stop here, where we activate like the Ocarina mode, but we can still move around. And that allows us to skip a cutscene there.
Okay.
And that allows us to skip that cutscene of watching them talk about the Zora eggs and whatnot. And we can go over to the other side there and then hit the beehive and then go through that hole there to get to the hookshot. Which, fun fact, that hole in the wall is in the Japanese version of the original game. And then they closed that wall in the US version of the original game. And now in 3D, it's back.
Really?
Yeah, so a little fun fact about that. There's actually a couple of things that are like Japanese exclusive on the original that are actually in 3D, which is interesting. Okay, so remember when we saved Kohun? Yeah, Kohun, I think it was. Alright, we're also gonna do a safety save here. This is why. This is why we do that. So we're actually going to do a little trick here to get the Picto Box. I'm going to be close to the door, and I'm actually going to leave before the boat ride actually starts. So by doing that, I skipped the boat ride, but still got the Picto Box. And the reason we have the Picto Box is to do this. Whee! Now you might be wondering to yourself, what did we just do? Well, what we just did there is a Goron missile, and it's one of the main tricks we use in the game. And basically how a Goron missile works is... I think about my equips for a second, but basically how a Goron missile works is if Goron is holding a hookshot and you do a pound, then you can accelerate a tremendous amount of speed. And I'll explain it a bit more in detail when we do it more, but I'm also, to also explain the trick I'm doing right here, I held ESS, which is that position on the control stick where I hold very slightly. And I pressed bottle and then lens, and what that did is it actually allowed me to dupe a bottle over the lens of truth. So I actually replaced my lens of truth with another bottle. The main reason I did that was really just to keep my bugs in this bottle, because it allowed me to not lose my bugs here. So I can use my bugs on a later dirt patch without having to re-grab bugs. And so this is also a really fun part of the run to do. And for those that guessed Mask of Truth, we're actually very close because now it is the next mask we are getting.
Whoops. Skull tools are definitely used a lot differently in this than Ocarina of Time, because this one's more just sort of just like a puzzle dungeon almost, but
yeah, it's like
collectible
a
focused.
mini
I don't know.
game. Yeah, like a mini game / dungeon feel. I do like how they reuse the sculptures in this way. It's kind of a more unique way of using it compared to Ocarina of Time, or I guess a unique way to give them a different use for this game, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a good way of like reusing the stuff you have from the previous game and putting them in a new light. Also, we don't get a cutscene every time we get a sculpture token, which is nice. So this is another good use of hook shot. Although I think we could technically do all of this with the Zora fins as well, because you can use the Zora fins as a boomerang.
Is one faster than the other?
Hookshot is better in this case because a lot of things are further out, and you have to stand in certain positions to actually get it to work. But hookshot is a little bit more versatile in this case. Wait, where's this other one? I don't see him. Oh, there he is. I always know I have enough in that room when I have... There we go. I always know I have enough in that room when I have 19. It's a good indicator knowing that I've got them all.
And the amount you want to find...
Do what?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, another good indicator that you've got all of them in a certain room is when you can't hear them doing their, like, like their crawling sound.
I was gonna say, you need to find 30 in here, correct?
Yes, we need 30 to be able to get the reward. With the reward being the Mask of Truth. And then last dirt patch. I'm sure the dirt patch was like one of those more obscure things for finding sculptures. I'm sure a lot of people struggle to find like maybe those last 3 sculptures that were just in the dirt patches if you didn't know about this mechanic of putting the bugs in.
Yeah, because in Ocarina of Time, I don't think any of them were sideways.
I don't think any of them were. Not that I can think of, at least. Okay. Oh, come on. So with that, we can get the Mask of Truth from this guy. And there we go. Another mask is down. Alright, so back on the Goron missile thing. So basically what allows this to work is when I pull out the Picto box, I can go into the menu and swap items on the buttons, and while you're in the Picto box, whether an item can be used or not does not get updated. So, say I switch the hookshot and the Goron mask. Well, the usability of the Goron mask gets put on the hookshot, and the unusability of the hookshot gets put on the Goron mask because they don't update. And so, by doing that, I can actually pull out the hookshot as Goron. And like I said before, if you have hookshot in hand as Goron, and you do a pound after moving a little bit, then that actually accelerates you a tremendous amount. I mean, it basically shoots you like a cannon. And as you can imagine, that has some very big uses for the run. If not for certain skips, then for a lot of movement options.
Now we're in the Deku Palace with the monkey.
Yes. So now we're going to learn another song. We're going to learn the Sonata of Awakening, which is actually required to get into the Woodfall Temple.
Is that what you're planning on doing that right now?
Yes, actually. We are indeed going to the Woodfall Temple. Now, I will say, we're beating Woodfall Temple, but we're not beating Woodfall Temple for the reason you would think. And I'm going to leave that a surprise until it becomes a little bit more relevant. But I will say that beating this temple is important for getting a certain mask. Yeah, Sonata of Awakening is a good song. Yeah. Also, I think I think we kind of glossed over it, but you can do some cool flips and such to skip through a lot of the Deku Palace.
Like that part where you climbed up onto the wall.
Yep. Yeah, you can backflip onto that door, and then from there you can backflip onto a platform. All right. So you might be wondering, wait, didn't you just say we're going to Woodfall? Where are we going? Well, this is actually the path to Woodfall. And if you played this game before, you might be like, no, it's not. And then I'll be like, oh, au contraire. For we can do a Goron missile here, and all of the fairy fountains are lined up next to each other on this map. So I can actually Goron missile to another fairy fountain, and conveniently it's the fairy fountain right next to Woodfall, and then we'll do another Goron missile here to get onto this platform. I'll activate the owl statue. So yeah, you can already see just how versatile Goron missiling is.
Yeah, I didn't know that the fairy fountains were right next to each other.
Yeah, so they're lined up right next to each other like that, so we can easily like travel between the four areas by doing Goron missiles. In the original version, they do bomb hovers to go to different areas, but yeah, it's a really useful thing to be able to just travel between the four areas like that. It's very, very nice. We'll be using it again later in the run as well. So as you can imagine, we're going to abuse Goron missiling in here.
And officially enter Woodfall.
Yeah, we are officially in Woodfall now. Wee. Look at all these rooms.
A good question. What instrument would Fierce Deity Link play?
That is a good question.
I would say guitar, but Zora Link already plays that.
Yeah. See, I was thinking guitar as well, but yeah, that's already taken. Unless I don't know, unless he does like an electric guitar or something.
Theremin, that's a good one.
Theremin, yeah, Theremin. That's a good one. Alright, here's the bow. Bow can also be used for Goron missling as well. It's essentially any first person item that can allow for Goron missling. So we're gonna get in a certain position here because I want to actually Goron missile off this flower, and that allows us to just go straight into the loading zone of the boss room, and now we're in Adalwa. Because all the loading zones for the bosses are present, regardless of what room you're in the dungeon. So we can just go on missile straight into the boss room. And so all the bosses have been changed in the 3D version. So we have to do some special strats compared to the original to beat these bosses.
Really, it feels like the bosses were nerfed. At least Odolwa was nerfed.
Yeah, I would say nerfed is a good way to describe it. Oh, wait, where'd he go? Okay. Oh.
And normally, the way to beat this boss is you, as Deku Link, you go into the flowers, launch yourself up, and then drop Deku Nuts on to the eye to stun it.
Right. Yeah, I think yeah, that is the intended way. There are a number of ways that you can just get him stunned. Like basically, the idea is that you do a certain amount of hits on him, and then by doing that, you open up his eye, and then you actually do damage to his eye from there. Whereas I think in the original, he just had just a normal health bar. But here, it's broken up in phases. They are harder to quick kill, for sure. That being said, we do have some ways to do somewhat of a quick kill on some of the bosses. Some later ones like Twin Mold still take a while because they made a lot of changes to that boss and Georg in particular. They really changed up those bosses a lot, and they definitely take a lot longer. I would probably say the hardest one for me was Twin Mold, but also because just the way they made Twin Mold made it like really difficult to figure out what they were wanting out of it, I guess is the best way I can describe it. Also, here is the Oath to Order. This is the song that you play to summon the giants to stop the moon. Because in order to summon the giants, you need to beat all 4 of the dungeons to free the giants, so that then the giants can be summoned with the Oath to Order to stop the moon, and then you can go into the moon and beat the game. Tattle plays the triangle.
What does Tail play then?
I could definitely see Tattle playing the triangle, like a
yeah.
That actually is very fitting. Yeah, exactly. I was kind of the same way with Twin Mold, although I think I entered Twin Mold on day 2 and still almost ran out of time, which is not ideal. Definitely not ideal.
Tail plays the cowbell. I like that.
Yeah, I like that as well. That's good.
Or a broken recorder.
Broken recorder. They get the goofier instruments. I'm in danger. All right. So there's a particular mask called the Mask of Sense that we actually need the Deku Princess for, because having the Deku Princess is what allows us to go get the Mask of Sense. And
So the Deku Butler's race.
Yes. And in order to get to the Butler's race, we need to catch the Deku Princess in a bottle. which
How much can you
is
optimize the race?
do
Like,
what?
is
Sorry.
there a way? Is there how much? How is there a way to like really optimize the race?
Kinda. I mean, you can't like fully skip it, but there are gonna be like there are actually a couple of Goron missiles that we'll do in order to streamline some of the process of the race. Otherwise, you do most of the race fairly normally. Also, I did a Goron missile into there, even though I could slash the vines. Slashing the vines starts a cutscene, and the cutscenes are no good. So we just skip right on in there, just get the princess and leave. I think the Mask of Sense in this version is still the same as the original. It's still used for that mushroom quest. I think that's about all it's used for, and also just for the meme. Alright, so here we can bring the Deku Princess back to the king. Yes, Sniffa, also known as the Sniffa mask. Yes, indeed. I love that meme. That's such a good meme for that mask. The Sniffa mask. But yeah, Sniffa mask is going to be our next next mask.
And at this point, we have 3 masks.
We have, let's see, we have Deku, Goron, Zora.
Oh, Zora, yeah.
Stone Mask. Mask of Truth. I don't think we've gotten any other masks other than that. I think that's it so far. Soon to be 6 though, and then soon to be 7 right after it as well. Anyone want to take a guess on what the next mask is going to be after the Sniffa mask?
Is it now the Bremen mask?
I will give a hint. It is one that has been guessed before. Alright. So hopefully I don't go the wrong way this time, which I did. I always get that turn confused. That one specific turn I get confused every time. Nice. Nice bonk. Alright. So we're gonna go down this path here. And that money is actually really important. So we can conveniently get a money refill there. So here's one Goron missile we can do to just kind of streamline the process a bit.
How much time does that one save?
Probably like a few seconds, I would say, because I mean, otherwise you could just put on Deku Mask and just hop across the platforms. So that one's more of a smaller optimization. There's another one coming up here as well that right here that also saves a few seconds. Also, you might notice that there are some times where I'm doing the Goron missile backwards. So the reason I do some of these Goron missiles backwards is because on the 3DS, you see we're using a circle pad, so we don't have notches. However, in order to make backwalking easier, I guess they made going straight down have more inputs by holding down, so it's actually like lenient when you're holding down, if that makes sense. So
Rather than moving forward?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting they prioritized holding down as a thing they gave more inputs to on the circle pad. But that's actually really useful because if we need to do a Goron missile that requires a precise a precise angle, then I can actually utilize it, I can actually exploit that fact in order to get the exact angle that I want. So I can do more precise Goron missiles by utilizing that mechanic. And here is the cafe mask. There is our next mask after the Sniffa mask.
We're a fourth of the way through now.
We are a fourth of the way through. Alrighty. I will say, Bruma Mask is actually coming up soon. Though we need to... One thing to note about Bruma Mask is we need it to be nighttime in order to get it. So it's actually not possible to get right now, but we will actually be getting it soon. So with Cafe Mask, we're going to start the Andrew and Cafe side quest, which, as a lot of people who have played this game before know, that's like one of the... pretty much the biggest side quest in the game.
Yeah, because that's the only one.
We need to beat it for the couple's mask.
That one goes for all 3 days.
Yes, that is one we have to maintain throughout the entire 3-day cycle. There's gonna be a lot of There's gonna be a lot of Andrew and Cafe management for this run, or for this cycle especially. But we're also going to be doing a lot of things in between as we go to kind of optimize the routing of it. Another save here just in case. I haven't saved in a while. And there's a boulder here, but who cares about boulders when we can just Goron missile through it? So it's actually really important that we get to Ranch while still on day 1, which is one of the main reasons why we slow down time to be able to get here in time. And so... a fun fact, kind of getting sidetracked here. On the US version of the original game, part of that cutscene has Link running towards Epona there, but on the Japanese version and on the 3DS version, it doesn't do that.
Really?
Nope. Which it's really interesting. It makes me believe at least that this version of the game was based off the Japanese version, which I mean makes sense because I mean it's made in Japan, but
yeah, Nintendo
at least
based in
for some
Japan.
very interesting version differences for sure. And now we get to do the horse race.
I've never known this, but does the timer actually matter? The stopwatch?
For like the in-game time?
The stopwatch that's at the top of the screen right now.
Oh, this one? I think it matters. I think it matters for this minigame, but it's also very lenient. Well, I don't know. It might not matter for. I actually don't remember if it matters for this particular instance. I want to say it does, but maybe it doesn't.
It's taken me a long time sometimes, but it still lets me pass. So I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Maybe it doesn't matter then. Maybe it's just let you set records for, which I guess makes sense. I mean, it makes sense for it to not fail you if you don't get it like fast, because I mean the main point of this is just to get Epona song either way. So I guess I figured I guess it's more so for high scores.
Really, it's meant for speedrunners.
Exactly. There you go. Alright, so in the 3DS version for Song of Double Time, which lets us advance time, in the original you could only use it to advance to night, today, or whatever. But in this version, we can use it to go hour by hour, which makes for an interesting strat for the aliens here. So we can actually start the aliens side quest here. And we can actually abuse Song of Time because the aliens move based on time. So they're
And
actually
because
moving
it's
a little bit.
inverted Song of Time, it's slower.
Right. So yeah, they move slower if you're doing inverted Song of Time. And so we're going to use Song of Double Time to advance another hour, and they're so slow that they don't quite make it to the barn in an hour. So we can advance another hour so that they get a little bit closer, and then we can take them out like this, and I think, yeah, that one's further off. Sometimes when you kill the last one there and then play Song of Double Time, he doesn't actually, like, fully spawn yet until after you do Song of Double Time. Alright, but with that, we're going to let them get very scarily close, because now at this point it's impossible for them to win. And once the timer hits 5:15, we're good to go. We're just gonna stare them down. Watch as they lose. And get very uncomfortably close.
Yeah, really close.
Yeah, very, very close. Alright. So doing that is mainly for setup for that's also set up for another side quest by doing that, which will lead to the Romani mask. But now we're actually going to go back to Clocktown because we set the midnight meeting. However, we're like 5 hours late. I mean, no big deal, but like she's still there patiently waiting, so we're going to go there to have our meeting. She stays there for the midnight meeting until daytime.
So until 6.
Until 6, right. That is correct. I tried to do a jump there with Goron to get up there, but I missed it. And since I'm a bit on the clock for this one, I'm just going to play it safe and use Deku there. We're going to go down here. We have to go through that door because the stockpot inn is closed. Otherwise. So we'll have our very quick meeting, despite being 5.5 hours late. And she doesn't care. She's like, oh, sorry for bothering you. Sorry for inconveniencing you. Even though we just inconvenienced her, like, immensely. But now that that's done, she gives us a letter to deliver. Let me make sure I actually remember to deliver the letter. I've not forgotten to deliver the letter in any of my practice for this marathon. However, there have been times in practice for previous marathons where I have in fact forgotten to... Did I... I don't want to deliver my hook shot, no. There we go. Where I have in fact forgotten to deliver the letter. And for all the fans of Bremen Mask, here it comes. We're about to get Bremen Mask.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Here it is. There is the Bremen Mask. Alright. Do we know what our count is for masks now? I believe it's like 8, maybe?
8 sounds correct. It's either 7 or 8.
Yeah. Alright. So if you remember, well, I guess by remember I mean like 5 seconds ago, we delivered that letter from Anju to Cafe. And so now we're going to advance time a little bit more to get to the point where Cafe reads the letter. So we're going to go to 5 p.m. Yes, 5 p.m. I had to think about it there for a second. always gotta be sure. And we're gonna do a funny little thing where I roll against this wall and target Cafe on the other side of the wall and talk to him from across the hall. Avatar: The Last Airbender is now 20 years old. That blows my mind. I feel old. Oh man. That is crazy to think about. But yeah. We now get the pendant and we advance the Andrew Cafe side quest a little bit more. And now that we've done that, we're going to now go back to the ranch and do more ranch stuff. Excuse me. All right. So now we get to actually use Epona. We get to go on the ranch and we get to go have a horse race down here on the ranch. I don't know what. Okay. A little bit of Wind Waker HD came out in me. I tried to press up D-pad to pull out Ocarina.
Oh yeah.
That is also another game I speedrun. But in any case, it's now time for the horse race against the Gorman brothers. Nothing too fancy here. You just gotta be good to beat them at the race. Although, I mean, it's a pretty lenient race. You just have to make sure you don't run into any fences or misuse your carrots.
Yeah.
Really just more of a management thing, really.
How do you think Epona eats all those carrots?
I don't know. She's really hungry. Which, I mean, you know what? All power to her. Normally I would jump those fences as well, but I'm actually a little out of practice with it, and I forgot to practice jumping over those fences, and if I miss jumping over those fences, then, yeah, you're most likely to lose. And so the whole reason for this is to get the Garo mask, which they gave a complete redesign for in this game, which I actually like the redesign for this game.
Yeah, because this one's based off the, like, more powerful one,
Yeah.
and then the older one's based off of the less powerful one.
Right, yeah, and it makes more sense in that regard, especially since they kind of see you as the leader. I'm gonna do a safety save. I probably don't need a safety save there, but just in case. Alright, pay attention. Look what I'm equipping. Oh man. Speaking of Brahma Mask, we're gonna be using it here in a minute.
The bunny hood, right?
Yes, we are going to be getting the bunny hood next. One of my favorite masks as in casual play. Alright, who's ready to bop to some music? Who's ready? Alright, so first off I'm going to start the music, and then stop it, and then go over here, and now actually start it. I do that just to get one of those chickens in a better spot.
Yeah.
Alright everyone, I wanna see your best dance emote. We gotta join in the dance. in the march of the chickens.
I will say, if it goes on for too long, it does start to get a little bit annoying.
Yeah, a little bit, but you know, for the shorter periods of it, it is definitely a beautiful tune. Alright, we actually got pretty good RNG with the chickens. Sometimes they can be a little bit more spread out than what is preferred, but this is actually not too bad. This is not bad at all. This one's a little bit a ways, but it's okay. They are now full-grown chickens. I'm sure with Burma Mask you can have many a chicken.
Because how chickens age is because they explode and then become adults. That's how it actually works.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how it works. Exactly. Alright. Unfortunately though, Goron Mask is still way faster movement-wise than Bunny Hood, so we're not going to use Bunny Hood all the time, but there are going to be a couple places where we actually do use it for very specific scenarios where we actually need Human Link. And so we do need to we do need to finish the chickens by 7 because Crimea here leaves. She comes here at 6 and then she leaves at 7. And if she leaves, that would be no good. That's also kind of why I did the safety save, just in case. But now we get this nice little peaceful cutscene. Riding across the countryside. Talking about life. Hanging out, enjoying the view. Down here on the ranch. So yeah, we gotta deliver this this milk to Clocktown, to the milk bar. Also, pay close attention to the next scene coming up here. So remember that we didn't actually blow up the rock. So that one worker that's like toiling away at the rock trying to break it, he's still gonna be there during this cutscene. But watch what he does specifically here. So yeah, there he is right there. We're gonna just go through the boulder. We're gonna pass right by this dude, but we're actually going to just take him with us.
Wait, really? It pushes him?
So we're carrying this dude with us, at least in this scene. So we're gonna carry him with us, and right here he decides he's just gonna break the wagon and whack. Just like that. Yeah, he's not in this cutscene though, unfortunately, but yeah, we can carry him around for a little bit, and he'll even use his pickaxe on the wagon.
To answer the question in chat, no, you do not technically need all the masks to beat the game. It just makes the final boss fight way easier.
Right. Yeah, not a requirement, but makes for a much easier fight.
And now you're being attacked by 2 people that we definitely don't know.
Oh no, who are these guys? That mask looks familiar too. I wonder who gave me that mask. Whoa! Always a fun little sound they make. Yeah, also using gyroscope on the 3D version makes this very easy. I think at this point that it's impossible for them to win, but eh.
Just to make sure.
You know, just to make sure. It's a marathon. You never know when they decide, oh hey, let's just break all 3 at once. You know. Also, fun fact, in this shot right here, you can still shoot the bow. And also, there's Epona, because we just left her there earlier from the horse race. And here is the Romani mask.
Just a cow.
Just a cow. Now we can be a cow.
And go to the bar.
And go to the bar. We now have our membership. Now do it again for the hug. Exactly. Alright, so we're gonna sneak into the stockpot in here right before it closes. It closes at, oh, she is. Stockpot in closes at 8:30. However, if I didn't make it here by 8:30, I can go in through the upper entrance and still catch Andrew here. So we give Andrew the pendant that Cafe gave us. That advances the that side quest a little bit more. So as you can see, we kind of just do it as we go here. Oh wait, actually, I probably shouldn't have equipped the Goron mask. I didn't need it. Not yet. So I'm going to advance a little bit further here to open the Mopar. I'm going to equip these. We tell them, we show them our masks. They're like, you're a member here. Come on in. And so we're going to come on in here and we're going to do some more music. We're going to become the Indigo Band. That's not the right button. That's also not the right button. There we go. Moo. So we have to play each part with each transformation mask. And so, despite the other transformation masks not having a Romani mask, they are still allowed to not only be in here, but also to play some music.
Yeah, because, okay, then apparently you don't need the mask.
I guess not. I guess you just need it to enter. Although you do also need it to be able to buy from the milk bartender, the Malon. He does actually want you to wear the mask if you want to buy milk or Chateau Romani. Unfortunately, we do not get Chateau Romani for this run. A little too expensive and out of the way, but...
Is magic used a lot in this run?
It's used a lot, but we get... It's used a decent bit, but anywhere we use magic, we end up getting refills pretty easily anyways. So it's not really enough magic usage to warrant having, like, Chateau Romani. But, like, either way, like, we have pretty convenient refills for all of our needs for magic. Oh no. No. Oh no. I've never actually done that before. I don't know what was gonna happen. Alright. So I actually intentionally did Goron last year, mostly just for convenient optimization because we're going to be using Goron after this. I wonder what we're going to be using Goron for. I wonder what trick we're going to be using Goron for.
I've got no clue.
No idea. Alright, so bravo on the performance. It makes this Gorman brother have a bit of a heartfelt moment. And he's like, here, have a mask of my face. And he gives us what I would consider the most useless mask in the original version. In this version, so in 3D, they actually added a 7th bottle involving, and you get that bottle through a side quest involving the Gorman brothers, where you use this mask to, like, deliver milk for them.
The, like, special magic milk.
Yeah, the magic milk or whatever. Something like that. Alright, so if you remember the fairy fountain thing from before, we're going to be utilizing it again.
Keep using the Goron missile.
Yep. I'm going to use Goron missile even more. I'm going to do a specific setup for this one. Actually, okay, so I want spring water. I forgot to mention earlier that I actually got spring water earlier. I was kind of... I didn't even bring that up, so if you were paying attention to the fact that I actually got spring water earlier, we're going to be using it here pretty soon. You might be wondering to yourself, what does spring water have to do with anything? Well, we will find out here in a bit, but first we have to commit breaking and entering real quick. Because there was a mask in here, and I want it. And what better way to break into someone's house than by slamming into it at 1,000 miles an hour as I go on.
At that point, there's barely any braking. Or is there a lot of braking? I don't know.
There is a lot of braking. I mean, you do enter at an alarming rate, I suppose. But it is definitely more braking than entering. Yeah, and that is a fair point about the couples mask. I mean, the couples mask is also pretty useless, especially for the amount of effort it takes to get it. My logic in it is that...
That piece of art is good, though.
Yeah. My logic in it, at least, is that with couples mask, you at least are able to get a heart piece out of it by using it. Whereas with the Gorman mask, you actually just can't get anything out of it other than, like, one little Easter egg with the Gorman brothers. So, like, it actually has, like, no use.
Yeah.
It fills space up, more or less, in OG.
That is true. At least the Goron mask looks funny.
True. That is true. And it makes the Gorman brothers cry, so... I mean... There you go.
I mean, it's a question of why they cry.
Yeah, I guess... there's some strife between brothers, I guess. Alright, well, we gotta climb Stone Tower. What better way to do it than to do a Goron missile? I might... Oh, did I get... I think I got a good height here. Might have gone... No, this is good. Yeah, this is good.
Just falling through the
doing a
sky.
Goron missile on an incline is what allows me to be able to get these, like, really big jumps. And just like that, we're right at the entrance.
Stone Tower Temple.
Big jump. Do what, sorry?
Stone Tower Temple now.
Stone Tower Temple now. Onto
This is probably one of my favorite soundtracks. Favorite song in the soundtrack.
Yeah, this is a really good song. This is definitely one of the best ones, for sure. Also, I'm going to pour water on the sunblock. Nothing unusual is going to happen at all. Yeah, no, nothing unusual. You know, just water acting like light arrows. You know.
Same thing, same effect.
Yeah, same thing. Same deal. Yeah, for some reason, water shares the same flag as light arrows for those sunblocks. Your favorite temple in the series? It is a very good choice. I'm like kind of torn between this temple and Great Bay for my favorite dungeon.
Yeah, Great Bay is good too.
I really like Great Bay. I might stick with Great Bay being my favorite one, but this is definitely up there for sure. Also,
I do think the mechanic for the Stone Tower Temple is really good.
Oh, for sure. Also, I'm going to do a special trick here called first-person hookshot. Oh, uh-oh. Oops. No. So I'm going to place 2 bombs here. I'm going to shield it, and also pull out the camera. And now I'm moving around in first person. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to hookshot through this wall and hit that box. And that is known as first-person hookshot.
I was confused at first because the hookshot already kind of puts you in first person.
Right, yeah. It's a different first person, I guess is a good
first person.
Yeah, first person. And we've seen this trick before. So we're gonna do that to go through that wall there. To skip having to go around the whole like lava deal. And so now we're here. And this is where we get light arrows.
And this is what the Garo mask is based off of that
Yes.
The brothers give you.
Yeah, this is the actual design of the one for the mask, which is very cool.
I will say this mini boss is kind of floaty almost.
Yeah, he is a little floaty. At least we can make a very easy use of him with a Goron mask. Alright, so here we get light arrows. So with getting to the boss loading zone is not here in the upright version, so we actually need to get to the inverted side in order to get to the boss. However, the only way to do that is with light arrows. We cannot use water on the light arrow trigger outside. You can in the original, but they changed how it worked in 3D. Because I guess it's because they moved where it was. Also, another random version difference, the blocks right here that are there, the ones that are like 2 on the top and then 1 at the bottom, that's how they're laid out on the Japanese version of the original game, but then in the US version, they're like lined up back to back to back, like side by side. But then
Really?
in 3DS, they moved. they're back in their original position. Another fun little version difference there.
But now the temple's flipped upside down.
And now we are upside down. Now we get to do some fun things with it upside down. Yeah, this was always a really cool mechanic. Right, now
Yeah, and I've always like
regular spring water to melt the block.
And about the stone tower, the temple flipping upside down, I've always wondered what actually happens to Link when he falls like down from there, because that would mean he flies up into the sky.
Yeah, he does seem to just very conveniently like go through the sky and then he just ends up he just ends up on the other side on the ground safe and sound. Guess he's lucky about that, because yeah, otherwise he's just going to the he's flying through the sky. Nowhere to land.
And now it's time for Twin Mold.
Time for Twin Mold. One of the most I guess controversial changes in the remake.
I do like how the Giant's Mask is used in this one, though. It's nice.
Yes, the sumo wrestler aspect of this fight is very amusing. it is that part of it is at least a very interesting change. But I will say one thing about this fight in particular, in this category specifically, we get to do something very special here that we don't do in other categories. Something very unique will be coming up here. Also, if you stand right here if you stand right there on top of the dirt mound like that, then you can avoid the shockwave of the blue one coming out. That right there, though, I actually got hit by the red one. I'm gonna drink milk there to be safe. Oh, that didn't hit? Oh, okay.
Right now. And this is kind of just like more recent. This is kind of like the Colgera fight in Tears of the Kingdom.
Right, yeah, it is similar to that. Okay, there we go. Oh, hold on, I might off screen a bit. Okay, there we go. Gotta watch out for the red. The red one could hit me in one hit. Okay, there we go. We're good. Yeah, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Alright. So we're about to do something very special here after we get Giant's Mask. This is something, it's one of my favorite parts of this fight, for this category specifically. But first we're going to get the Giant's Mask, because in the remake you actually get the Giant's Mask in the fight.
Rather than just being hidden in the temple.
Right, yeah, you don't get it like, I think it was like right before the boss store or something like that, where you got
That
it.
sounds right.
Yeah, it's on one of those like Igor fights. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to equip Goron Mask, and I'm going to pull out my Ocarina, and I'm going to play Song of Soaring, and I'm just going to leave.
Oh yeah, do the remains count as masks? I'm pretty sure they don't, right?
They do not, no. They are...
So you don't really need to do that, you just really need the Giant's Mask.
Nope. We actually don't need the remains at all. Now you might be wondering to yourself, but wait, don't we need to beat all the dungeons to get to the end? And actually, we do not. So the only reason we actually beat Woodfall was to get Deku Princess in order to get the Sniffa Mask. And the only reason we even went through that whole effort there was for Giant's Mask. So really, we don't need to beat any other than that. We don't need to do anything else in dungeons at all. We're actually done with dungeons now, and we'll have a very unique way of getting to the moon without beating any of the dungeons.
You're now continuing the quest.
Yep.
The cafe quest.
Getting to the latter end of the cafe quest now. All right.
This was always an interesting concept to have in sort of a mini dungeon. You controlled two.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, and then Link's side is all just combat, which I mean makes sense because Link's the one with actual combat skills in this instance. Whereas Cafe
And
is used to the puzzles.
it's interesting that Cafe is able to push those blocks.
Yeah, Cafe's got some good upper body strength, it seems.
Yeah.
We can do a quick kill on the Wolfos here. If you hit the Wolfos in the back, it's an instant kill.
Yeah.
Like that.
I don't know why it rotates around, but
No idea. Not very smart of the of the Wolfos, but hey. Also, this cutscene coming up here with Cafe running, every now and then it gets randomly skipped, but sometimes it doesn't. None of us have any idea why. I've only gotten it a very few select times. Yeah, see, it didn't get skipped here. I've only had it happen to me like a few select times, and none of us have any idea like why it happens like that. It's very interesting. All right. So now we're going to go back to Clocktown. Gotta run a few more errands.
how many masks do we have at this point now?
Good question. We've gotten quite a few, recently now. And we're about to get another one. As we go over here and talk to the Curiosity Shop guy, and he'll give us the Keaton mask. Which, this mask is actually used in any percent. You can break into here in any percent during first cycle, and by getting that mask, you can actually use that mask to take off the Deku mask in order to skip first cycle. The only reason we don't do it here in this category is because if you do that, then you skip getting Ocarina, Song of Time, Song of Healing, and all that. And we still need all of that to be able to beat a bunch of requirements.
The real masks were the friends we made along the way.
Indeed. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. We have an equip mishap there, but we are here. Alright. So now we gotta go get the Oh, nice. Did not mean to do that. I killed my speed. Oh no. No, but now we gotta go get the Donjiro mask, also known as the frog mask. The masks were on the friends. Exactly. Alright, so here is our favorite crying Goron baby.
Definitely not annoying at all.
Yeah, no, not irritating in the slightest. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm going to do something called action swap. Oh, I gotta closer. I'm going to try to pull out stick while I'm holding the bow, and that puts me in a state called action swap, and by doing that, it allows us to shoot a lit arrow with the stick, and by doing that, I can then use that torch to then light the one up there, and that's going to allow us to break the pot that has the rock sirloin in it. So an unfortunate thing is that in the original, the rock sirloin is in a set position, but in 3D, it's a little more random where it is. Fortunately, I got it first try there. It's like within a set pool of pots, so you still want to go for the ones like on the left, which are like more likely to have them. All right, so get to take advantage of backwalking again. Yeah, so as you probably could see throughout the run, backwalking got replaced by a lot of things that Goron can already do, like rolling and, of course, Goron missiling. Also, the Tektites can hit us and knock the sirloin out of our hands, which is actually something that doesn't happen in the original. So they actually made carrying the sirloin a little bit more annoying, but alas. Oh no.
And now we take it to the Goron on the cliff.
Yep, because that Goron is hungry.
And for some reason cannot jump down.
Yeah, he can't jump down, he's freezing to death, but he's not doing anything about it.
It's like the cows, they can go upstairs, but they can't go down.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh. Wait a minute. Why is that up there? Wait, why is that not working? Oh.
That's not good.
That's never... Okay. This is a very, Marathon trademark, statement, but that's never happened before.
Never? Really?
I've never had that that's never happened to me before. No, that has never
It's
happened
on the
before.
cliff.
That is completely new. Okay, cool. We gotta do that again.
It should trigger.
It should. I don't know why it didn't. Incredible. Is there another one here? Okay, good. There's another one here. Alright, well, off we go again. Alright, well, that has never happened before. Be a little bit more careful with that throw. Okay, alright. Oh, here's also a, inverted, target camera. You can target while not actually facing forward if you move the control stick in a certain way. Yeah, I found the one spot in the cliff where it didn't trigger. Somehow.
The one, like,
Of course I
polygon.
do it today, of all days. So typical. Don't kill me.
Oh yeah, you're low health.
Yeah, I just realized I'm half a horror. I'm like, oh no, wait, no. I don't want to carry this again.
Hopefully this one lands on the cliff.
I'm,
Correctly, I guess.
I'm just gonna walk there normally. And just throw it directly at him. Yeah, there we go. Like, look, you got two sirloins now. He probably ate the other one.
It struck him like in the face.
Yeah, just toss it into his face. He probably ate the other one and was like, oh no, I'm still hungry.
Yeah. Or maybe he just didn't want to move and he was like, I can't reach it. Give me another
Oh
one.
no, I can't it's all the way over there. Why can you not just make it closer? Alright, well that's good to know in the future.
And that's Dongaro's mask.
And that is Dongaro's mask. So now, I'm gonna head on over here. I'm gonna go visit our good friend the mailman here. We're gonna give him this letter here, because he has a hat that I want. A hat that is considered a mask.
It's just a mask that's like tilted upwards.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just a mask you put on a different part of your face. Alright, so now we have 2 hours left in game time until the moon crashes. We're gonna be playing it very close here. Yeah, it's been very cold where I live.
Same.
So, one last use of Song of Healing here. To then get the, oh, this is blanking on me. What's this mask called?
Tomorrow?
No, not Gar. It's, oh my goodness. Well, I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on what this is.
I'm pretty sure it's Kamaro's mask. I
Kamaro,
think that's what
it.
it.
Yeah, Kamaro. That's it.
I might have said it wrong. I'm not quite sure
No,
how it's said.
I think I heard Garo earlier, so that might have been my bad actually. I might just misheard. But in any case, here's the use of the bunny hood. Since we're using light arrows to get 50 rupees here. If you shoot these guys with light arrows, they drop 50 rupees.
That applies to
same
all
with
enemies,
the
right?
bubbles over there, the skulls.
The light arrow effect of 50 rupees applies to all enemies, right?
Not every enemy, but some of them. A good number of them.
Minute and a half left.
I know, we're getting dicey here. Alright, and there it is. There is the Andrew and Cafe side quest. All done.
What do you think is the hardest quest in Majora's Mask? Is it this one or another one?
I would honestly say this one, especially in the original, because like you need to be at certain places at certain times, and it might not always necessarily be clear as to where you need to go. And there's also like instances, like especially late, like really late into the side quest, where if you fail one thing, then it's like, oh, you have to do the whole thing again. Like if you get like,
Yeah.
for example, if you get caught by Sakon right before doing the thing with Cafe and that one little mini dungeon, like if you get caught by him, then it's over at that point because he runs away and never comes back at that point. So it's like it's stuff like that. It's the knowledge of like figuring out like what you need to do for it and like when to be at places, and then also just executing it all properly. Because there's a bunch of steps in doing it. That being said, it is pretty cool, like trying to figure out like where things are placed and like how it kind of goes along.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I really like about Majora's Mask.
Oh, definitely. Okay, so I'm gonna do a special trick here that I'm actually gonna safety save for. So I need the biggest wallet, but I can get the first wallet upgrade here by depositing a total of 200 rupees, which is what I just did there. But I actually just did a trick that delayed getting the wallet by trying to put on a mask as I climbed the ledge, but then taking off that mask on the button. It allowed me to delay getting the wallet, and so I went over there with the postman's hat to get the heart piece, but that also got delayed too, and by delaying all that, and then deactivating the glitch, it then allowed me to get the wallet twice. So the heart piece got replaced by another wallet. So I basically just got the same wallet twice, but by doing that, it gave me the max wallet.
Because how most of these games work, it's progressive rather than set.
Yeah, it's a progressive wallet. So like, if I got the one in the Oceanside Spider House first, then that one would become a Giant's wallet. So yeah, I basically got the same wallet twice by doing that, and so that allowed me to now have the max wallet, which is required for the All Knights mask. And also with that, we finished the cycle. And now I'm gonna get some money here. Alright, 200 rupees here. And we're going to, so that's, I think, I want to say that one's called item delay, I think. But
Okay.
well, actually no. The trick I'm doing that delays the item appearing, the weird trick I do with that one's called down A. That same trick also allows us to do. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back to that later. I have to be over here in time for Granny. For Granny to be robbed. I can hold more money, exactly. Okay, well, he did not get far. But she's going to give us a definitely very legal mask.
Blast mask.
The blast mask. Oh man. But yeah,
Which
the
I actually
down A
didn't
trick that
use
I did
that
there
much.
also allows you to not get blown by the wind at Snowhead, so that you can actually skip getting the Goron Lullaby for that too, by doing that same trick. Alright, so I wanted to get that fairy before, but I kept missing it, so I just came back for it later. But we use this fairy to now get the Great Fairy's Mask, which we've delayed for quite a long time.
But it's not, the Great Fairy Mask isn't going to be too helpful, right? In
No,
this run?
we're not even going to use it at all. Because the Great Fairy Mask is only really useful for getting the fairies in the dungeons, but we don't need to get any fairies in dungeons, so yeah, it's not really useful here. We do use it in the All Fairy Rewards category, because of course it'd be very useful for getting the fairies in hard to reach places. I gotta remember to do a safety save just in case coming up here, because I'm going to be doing a couple more home buffers. So, preferably I do a safety save, especially in a marathon setting like this, before I do any kind of home buffer, because there is a very low % chance that one of my home buffers crashes the game. Don't know why that happens, but that is just a thing to have to unfortunately contend with. But it's pretty low chance though, fortunately. So.
But with the luck of the sirloin, I'm not sure.
Yeah, given what happened with Sirloin, I mean, you never know at this point. So, yeah, good to be safe. All right, here's another use of Bunny Hood though. We're just gonna be running around using light arrows here. So that we can very easily get us to 500 rupees. So we're already at max with the max wallet.
Then Goron Missile.
Oops. Oh, nice bounce. I'm also gonna do an equip here. Yeah, so it was me quickly climbing a ledge by equipping a mask. Which again, that's a 3D exclusive thing. So now we have the captain's hat. Another hat, if you will. Safety save here, just in case of the very low % chance of a home buffer crash. I'm gonna do a fancy jump here, where I do that, put on Zora mask, do a side hop, and do that, and now we're up here where the chest is, and then we can use invulnerability frames, that word, in order to get this chest while hookshotting it. I need a certain frame to do it. I believe it's
Then this is the home buffering.
Yes, that is the home buffering, which I can home buffer frame by frame, so I can get very specific frames for what I want. Isn't English a fun language? So,
Sure is.
a fun fact about the home buffering: if you've watched an Ocarina of Time 3D run, one problem they have is that they actually cannot home buffer frame by frame. Their home buffering is more inconsistent. So why is it that home buffering is frame by frame on MM3D? Well, it's actually because of the circle pad, this thing, the like C-stick that they added on the new 3DS. For some reason, with the presence of the C-stick, it makes home buffering lag, so that you can home buffer frame by frame. Iframes, yeah, that's what I should have said. You're right, you're so right.
That, like, C6 sort of thing, I didn't actually know what that did for a long time. I was so confused by what it was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like one of those like old style mouse trackpads, like you know on those old computer laptops where they had like the mouse on the keyboard or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. And here's our very expensive All Knights mask. And with that, we have every single mask other than the Fierce Deity mask. So now I know that we're at 23 out of 24. And with that, we're also done with this cycle.
Now we just need to figure a way to get up to the moon.
Yeah, how are we going to get up to the moon? That is actually a very interesting question. Strap in, because we're about to get to probably the most complex trick out of the entire game. If you're familiar with stale reference manipulation, also known as SRM from the N64 games, yeah, buckle up. So here we go. That's essentially what we're going to be doing. I guess I can explain it a little bit. Preliminary explanation. So basically, we're going to be doing SRM to do Moonwarp, which basically what that means is that we're manipulating data in such a way to where we're actually changing. We can actually change certain values to get what we want. In the original N64 games, SRM is a little bit easier to do. Because you do like very specific things to manipulate what's called the heap of the game, where it's like the order in which things are loaded in. And so you do certain things in order to then eventually hold an invisible object, and that's what's known as the stale reference, and that's what allows you to control certain things in the game. In MM3D, it's a lot more complicated in MM3D and how it works. And so we have to do even more specific things to get it to work in 3D. And so basically you're going to see me do a lot of very seemingly random inputs, but they're all very important for this very specific setup. I'm going to make sure to also remember to do Song of Double Time. We also need it to be a certain time. So, I'm probably gonna be mostly silent during the actual trick, but the things to look out for as I'm doing it, I'm going to be home buffering a lot, and I'm going to be home buffering and using the timer, the clock on the bottom, as my visual cue for certain scenarios.
Alright.
And so I'm going to be doing that so that I can get very, very specific frames for what we're needing in order to get this trick to work. And so basically the end result of this is going to be that we change the value of a certain Deku guard to change his value to where he sends us when he catches us. So we're changing a guard from kicking us out of the Deku Palace when we get caught to throwing us to the moon when we get caught. So first part of the setup here is I'm actually going to wait on the title screen for a short little bit. And so by doing that, we're setting up what we need. And then when we get here, we can go in the game. So from here, We also bought bomb shoes for this trick. I'm going to clip into this corner like so, and I'm gonna wait at this wall. And just so y'all know, this took like 9 months to figure out, by the way, by people who are way, way smarter than me. Who like actually know the code of the game, or it can actually like decipher this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the people that find these sort of like glitches and stuff are crazy.
I gotta do it again. I let that home buffer go a little too long. That's okay though. Yeah, this is the kind of trick that takes like borderline computer science knowledge to understand. Like like at its core, it's very complicated stuff. But it's like even more complicated in this game, which is why this is also the only instance of SRM we have in the entire game. Whereas the N64 games split all of their categories between SRM and no SRM. Whereas this is the only SRM application we have that we know. I mean, there's sure to be like other applications, like for sure, but it's just so hard to find setups for it, and there's not very great tools for MM3D in particular to find them. So this ends up being the only instance of SRM that we have in the game, which is fine because I mean it kind of balances things out pretty well. We only use this Moonwart for 80% and this category. Waiting until 5:51. There we go. Alright.
Then drop a bomb.
Drop this. This menuing also affects it for some reason. Oh, perfect. Perfect on the frame. And so I'm gonna pick up the bomb that exploded as the day-night transition happens, and now I'm holding the stale reference.
Alright.
So I'm gonna get myself in a certain position. I believe that what I'm manipulating right now to be able to manipulate the value is based on Link's breathing animation. I think.
That's really specific.
Yeah, it's very specific. So I have to do some very precise movement here. Gotta wait until 6:24, and then I have to do 7 frames of backwalking, which is a little tricky. Okay, well, it just didn't home buffer.
Oh boy,
I think I pressed the button too early. That's okay, though. That's okay. That was close. Yeah, I don't know why I said borderline. It is actually computer science, let's be real. Okay, yeah, I accidentally pressed home too early there, so then I crashed because I got into view of what I was manipulating, and it hit a value that crashed the game. Alright.
Alright, let's try this again.
Here we go again. Wait on time. There we go.
Alright, 5:51.
Should be good as long as I don't mess up the home buffering again.
Yep. Looking good so far.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be good. Alright, yeah, should be good. We didn't crash, so that should be right. So we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna actually find this guard over here that's actually trying to leave his shift for work, but then he catches us and is like, oh, you know what? No. We want to just send you to the moon.
He must have a good throwing arm.
Yeah, he launched us up there. Like, good grief. So yeah, that is how we get to the moon. So we do have to do this trial, but I have to leave the trial and then like actually give the masks to the kids. And that's how we're going to be able to actually get the Fierce Deity mask. We're
Yeah.
to the moon. So there's the kid. So we're going right back in that room. But now we have to give the mask to each kid. Alright, so here's the Goron trial. And you know what? It wouldn't be the Goron trial without at least one Goron missile. Am I right?
No, it would not.
Oh, well, I messed it up there, but that's okay. I think I gave myself a little too much speed there. Oh, that was too far back, I think. I love how I don't miss this one once in practice, and then come marathon day, here we are.
That's just the marathon.
That's how it works. There we go. Got it. That was the lowest I've ever had that be where I actually get it. The girls are sniff a mask. What happened? So you can give away the masks like normal, but then you won't be able to complete giving away the masks. And then you won't be able to get Fierce Deity. Okay, there's literally a single home buffer, and I'm going to play it that safe. Wait, there you are. I want you next. I don't think that the order doesn't really matter here, though. I do want to use Bunny Hood at least once here. No, get back here. Okay. Yeah, it's not from being the trials, it's from giving away every mask. Because there was one brief moment where we were thinking, oh, we can get the Fierce Deity mask by just beating the trials and maybe skipping 2 inconvenient masks. But no. Now, granted, obviously you'd still get every mask for this category. But if that were actually the case, where beating the trials gets Fierce Deity mask, it would have made for an interesting category where it's like getting Fierce Deity as fast as possible. But no. It is impossible.
This trial is mostly a combat gauntlet.
Yeah, this is mainly combat. There are like a couple of puzzles here, but we actually skip the puzzles by abusing shared flags. So there's one puzzle that's in the last room that we actually skip by playing Epona song at one of the Gossip Stones, because that has the same flag as beating the next room.
Now the Iron Knuckle.
Good old Iron Knuckle.
Is this enemy specifically hard with only 4 hearts during this run?
Yes, if for no other reason than the fact that he can one-hit you if you make a slight mistake.
Yeah.
Because he does exactly 4 hearts. Okay, so I'm gonna jump on this chest here. We're gonna do that same trick I did in Pirate's Fortress, where I do the that big jump as where I do that big jump by putting on a mask. It's the exact same thing I did in Pirate's Fortress. So by playing that song, that opens this door over here, and with that, we're done with this trial. No, don't say yes to that. That kicks you out. Oh wait, that's not all the mass. I'm glad I noticed that. I need to learn the count.
So now it's time for the third one.
Time for the third one, and we are also done with home buffering, so no more worry about home buffer crashes. So thankfully, I did not get a home buffer crash this run. But yeah,
Is the rest of this run all intentional?
Do what?
Is the rest of this run all intentional, or is there still
yeah,
a few more glitches?
yeah, it's very intentional right here. I mean, this is the hardest trial right here. Obviously, this is an extremely hard trial. I say that as a joke, and then I still mess it up.
I'm guessing Goron Missile trivializes most of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that... Oh, wait, what? Interesting. Too far? Yeah, it's too far right. Okay, I also have to make sure not to hit that, that spike. Wait, what? Oh, come on. Okay, you know what? Let me make this a little easier on myself here. Struggling on this one. There we go. Okay, so I do joke that that is the hardest one, but every now and then that Goron Missile does trip me up a bit. Because you do have to kind of get through that gap there a little bit in order to actually reach it.
Yeah, thread the needle.
Yeah, thread the needle. Now, this next trial we are kind of doing pretty much normally. There is one little strat I do to ensure that everything is successful. Other than that, I mean, yeah, this is pretty much standard practice here. So going here.
No Goron Missiles in this trial?
No, unfortunately not. Can't really get through water on this one as Goron to do this. So yeah, this is definitely one of the more annoying trials casually, because they changed up how this trial works too. If you mess up any bit of this or void out in any way, you have to start the entire thing over. Fortunately, there's like certain movement patterns I can do here at the end to ensure I don't accidentally void out at the end. So like here, I just go straight at this, and then when I hit the air, I just press down to go up, and then here we go. Off we go. Well, I guess on normal controls you'd hold up, but I actually do swap the Zora controls to what they are like in the N64 version, where like up is down and down is up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't know that strat, then this is a pretty tricky trial. There you have it. The last trial is done.
Now it's time to get the Fierce Deity mask.
Indeed. Alright, and with all those masks traded in, we can now go get Fierce Deity and go and finish the game. Also, I do apologize. It looks like I'm going a little bit overestimate. Probably mainly because of the the rock sirloin and then me accidentally missing that one home buffer for the moonwarp. But we shouldn't be too far over. Time is going to be coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, because all that's left is the final battle.
Right. And so time will be whenever we do the last hit on Majora, like as soon as that last hit is done. And so when I say time, that'll be when the time is up. When the time is up.
All right, and yeah, we have all the masks now.
We have every mask.
At this
There
point,
it is.
yeah.
Now we get to be the big boy. Yeah, Fierce Deity makes the final battle really easy. Though there is one thing in this fight that could kill me very easily. So one of the attacks in 3D, they changed it to make it to where it can chain hit you. So Majora literally has an attack that can 0 to death you, more or less.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It can take you from full health to 0. If you're really unlucky. This is in the second phase. This is when Majora's doing that like rapid fire shot, which doesn't stun lock you in the original, but it can in 3D, which is very unfortunate. But that phase is pretty easy.
Yeah. All right, the second phase.
I can target. There we go. Okay, it looks like okay, good. I avoided that attack that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so we should be good to go. So this is the last phase coming up here. So time is coming up very shortly. Ow. I had to give Majora at least one.
Yeah.
It should be this hit, maybe? If I can get a hit. There we go. And that's time.
There we go.
There we
That
go.
was the All Mask run.
There we go. And that is Majora's Mask 3D. All masks. In 222. That is every mask done on the 3DS version. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this run. This is definitely a very different run from the original MM, which I think makes it stand out a lot. It's definitely a very underrated speedrun in my opinion. Mostly because of the fact it's on 3DS. But yeah, if you are interested in doing runs of this game, I definitely recommend it. It is a really fun speedrun, and you don't necessarily need a capture card to run this game. I mean, I do have one myself, but I mean, as you can see right here, I'm playing it like normal. I've got one of those like desk, phone holders that I'm just using as a camera. But yeah, that is the run. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am Joaish, and yeah, I do speedruns of this game. More recently, I've been doing speedruns of Echoes of Wisdom. I also do Wind Waker HD stuff as well. And if you're familiar with Zelda Classic, I also do stuff with that as well. But yeah, we do that. We do casual runs as well, stuff like that. So yeah, I am Joaish, and I hope you guys enjoyed the run. Thank you,
Yeah, it was
Torinn, as
really
well
fun to
for
watch.
joining me on this run. Was a I had a it was a fun time indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned. We are going to be doing Twilight Princess HD with Grovile coming up here very soon. So we're going to be, I believe we're going to be taking a quick break, but then after that, join Grovile and Audio Pixie and Catherine for Twilight Princess HD Glitchless coming up very soon. Appreciate you guys for watching and stay tuned for more Zelda.